790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call, 989-295-7713. And don't forget to stop into Cafe 476 in the Point, the headquarters of Pinnacle Realty, M46 and M47, the former ISD building. Cafe 467, now with new soups and beverages to your liking. Later on, 10 o'clock, we're going to talk to Dr. Stephanie Duggan, president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries, about new investments in those facilities. At 11 o'clock on Focus, the Bay City Public Schools will be the focus with the superintendent, Dr. Stephen Bigelow. But for this hour, we're going to start with some questions about cybersecurity, about protecting your information and protecting your documents and all of that and your privacy. We all carry electronic devices. We use electronic devices, and how susceptible are they to someone hacking your information? Unfortunately, very susceptible. And we're going to learn more about it this morning with our buddy who is involved in security and training issues. We say good morning to Henry Reyna. Henry, good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to hear from you.
Yeah, good to hear from you, Art.
Yeah, you sound like you're in a barrel.
Do I?
You do.
Should I make some changes?
Yeah, pick up the phone if you can. That'll help.
Yeah, hang on just a second. Technical problems. How's that, Art?
A little better. Good. That'll work.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, much better. All right. So let's start with an overall basic question. As citizens, we know what happens to companies. We've all heard about the ransom attacks and everything else. But as citizens, how vulnerable is our individual information?
Well, it's very vulnerable. That's why it's so necessary to take these steps that I've making recommendations. More and more, I'm finding out that we are exposed at so many different levels. If we don't secure this, it's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's just when.
So let's talk. And I know you focus here a lot on the cell phone, but of course that's not our only electronic device. But something is happening in the world that is asking us to sign up for an extra level of protection. How valuable is that when they say to me, I sign on with my username and my password, and then they tell me, okay, we want to text you a code. How valuable a tool is that to protect myself?
Well, it's very valuable. So just about everywhere in the world that you have an account, you definitely need a password. The password should be a long, complicated password with both letters and numbers and uppercase letters and symbols. I chuckle because I looked at my document here the other day, and I've got 3 pages of different accounts with various passwords. And then to really make my Yahoo account or my Google account or whatever account I'm logging into safe, it has to have the second step verification. And that is a text message being sent to your cell phone or being sent to your email address is another second step verification process. But you need both a password, that's something you know, and the only person that's ever going to be in possession of your cell phone is you. And
theoretically.
You have.
Yeah. Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah, theoretically, yeah. But you have to marry those two things together on all of your accounts and wherever you can. then start monitoring your accounts on a daily basis. Gone are the days that you could just wait until, well, let's see what the credit card bill is going to be at the end of the month when I get the letter notification in your mailbox.
So you're saying for every one of your banking accounts, credit card accounts, you should look at them every day to see if there's activity on them?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Every day. And of course, you've got to be cautious about how you do this. Number one, you've got to log in from a secure location. I suggest using Norton VPN to make sure that whatever you're doing on the internet is safe.
All right, let's start with, whoa. Hold it. Tell everybody what Norton VPN is.
Well, Norton just helps track your online identity and activity so anonymous people aren't going to steal it and steal your information on the different places that you're visiting.
A VPN is what, a virtual private network or something like that?
Yep. Here's the, as I do a lot of different training in various groups, you can't get lost in this technology. You got to stay up with this technology. My grandma used to have a phone in the kitchen. It was tethered to the wall. It was about shoulder level. That thing is gone. And so now grandma's got a flip phone or a smartphone. And so we've got to stay up on this technology. And evolving technology means, well, we've got to make our identity safe and secure. And we need to be monitoring all.
So let me ask you this, Henry. Let me ask you this.
Yep.
What's more vulnerable? My computer at home through a large carrier providing internet service, or my mobile phone? Which one is more susceptible to trouble?
Both.
But I knew you were going to say that.
And that's why it's so important to lock this stuff down with not just passwords, but second steps verification. And then if anything moves in any of my banking accounts, anything, I both get a text message to my cell phone and an email to my inbox and my email address.
This goes to turning on notifications, right?
Yes. Yep.
So you should turn them on for at least your financial companies. They're a pain in the neck otherwise, but for the financials, you really should turn them on, shouldn't you?
Yeah, yes. Yep, absolutely. And monitor them.
Yeah. Hang on. I gotta take a break here, Henry. We'll come back. We're talking to Henry Reyna, security expert, former law enforcement officer, and also part of a company called Molitor International, where they provide executive leadership and team building to 500 companies. We'll get back to that and more with Henry. But first, let's see if we can give away a little money. It's the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hess & Company, downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is friend. It is nice to have a close friend. It's an alpha company-wide contest. You must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. And you can check the rules at WSGW.com. It's Fall into Cash time, presented by Herman Hess & Company, downtown Bay City on WSGW. And while I have your ear, I am often asked where I do business. And I have said many times I prefer to do business with local folks that I know and trust. And such is the case with my insurance agent. His name is Tom Cereski, spelled Cereske. And by the way, Tom's first name is unusual. It's spelled Thom. Tom Cereski. He's an Allstate agent, and I've been an Allstate customer since 1974. And as several of my agents over the years retired, I ended up with Tom Cereski, and it is the best thing that ever happened to me. Tom has a fabulous agency. And the thing I like most about Tom is you can go in, sit down with him. He's knowledgeable. And most importantly, he's a good listener. He always provides the advice and plans I need to fit my situation, and they will do the same for you. They can protect your home, your auto, motorcycle, RV, boat, motorhome, rental property. Tom can even protect your classic car because he deals with Haggerty Insurance, which specializes in that. In addition, Tom can provide specialty insurance for event coverage like weddings and pet insurance for your cat or dog. The Sereski Agency also serves the business community with all state supplemental health benefits. So do as I do. When you have an insurance need, talk to Tom Sereski at the Sereski Agency. I do it for all of my insurance needs. Visit his agency on Tittabawassee Road, just west of the tracks in Saginaw Township. Or you can call Tom at 989-497-0300. 497-0300. Be sure and tell him Art Lewis sent you. You're in good hands with Allstate, and even better hands with the Sereski Agency. We'll be back with Henry Reyna after these notes.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Andy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to My Computer, the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
American Express cardholders, restaurants, and on travel in the summer quarter. Amex says it saw a rebound in spending. At restaurants, it was stronger than before the pandemic. Both its earnings and revenue were stronger than forecast. Genetics and research company 23andMe is buying Lemonade Health, the platform for accessing medical care and pharmacy services. It's paying $400 million. Plant-based protein company Beyond Meat is lowering its expectations for the current quarter. It believes the Delta variant of COVID may have impacted demand for its products. Whirlpool says the chip shortage isn't ending anytime soon, and the appliance manufacturer says it won't be able to demand for refrigerators and dishwashers until sometime next year. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
At CDW, we get modern servers need to be
Flexible, scalable, and predictable. I predicted you'd say that.
Okay, what will I say next?
Probably something about server security.
Impressive and freaky. CDW can implement secure Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Gen 10 servers that improve speed and performance while reducing
costs. See, predictable.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it.
I predict a web address.
CDW.com/HPE.
I'm in your mind, man.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at exergen.com.
And we're back with you here on WSGW. We're chatting with Henry Reyna about cybersecurity and protecting your electronic devices. We are all susceptible to negative impacts of people hacking into our personal information. So, Henry, I've got a cell phone. It's a smartphone. It's probably smarter than I am. But it can be real dumb if somebody hacks into it. How do I protect my cell phone?
Now, this is real important. This just happened to a close associate recently. You have to log into your cell phone account with your cell phone carrier from, again, a secure network, a secure location. And
all right, so let's use Verizon as an example because that's my carrier. So that way I won't step on anybody else.
Yep. And from there, you log in and do a search. And what you're searching for is what you're looking to activate is a thing called number lock. And number lock prevents your phone number from being ported away from you to another individual who then's going to take over your world and then turn your pockets inside out. And this just recently happened to a friend who left the country and was visiting Greece, Detroit, and landed in Greece a few hours later. But his phone didn't work. And the whole trip, his phone didn't work, but everyone else's phone worked just fine. And then when he got back to the United States and dug into this a little bit more, he found out he lost his phone number. And his phone number was compromised because somebody got his phone number, and they were in a store in Ohio and simply had it ported over to another carrier in Ohio and then turned his pockets inside out.
So I have a stupid question.
Yes, sir.
Why don't carriers automatically provide this?
You know, that's a good question. I was at the Verizon store here the other day, and I was mentioning this to the associate, and they asked me where it was.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So let me ask this now.
Yeah.
That prevents my number from being ported away and being used for nefarious things. Does it protect the rest of the phone? In other words, does it protect the SIM card, for example, from being hacked?
Oh, no. It only protects your phone number from being taken away from you. And again, once a wrongdoer gets your phone number, they turn it over to their account. Then they can start accessing all of your accounts and everything you had associated with that cell phone.
Wow.
Number.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So this is something everybody ought to be doing with their own carriers. Do all the carriers have this feature that you know of?
You know, I only have one carrier, and that's Verizon. And I immediately looked it up. We looked it up and activated it for our phones. We helped our do their phones and other family members as well. Just one more level of protection that we need in this upside down world that we're living in now.
Let's talk about the credit reporting agencies, because you mentioned in some material you sent about freezing your identity. And I assume you only want to do that if you're not going to be applying for credit, because obviously if you apply for credit, you can't freeze your credit reports. So why do we freeze our credit? How do we freeze our credit?
Yeah, absolutely. So every individual with a Social Security number and a date of birth has need to take control of their identity. And that means going to the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and create an account. And it costs you $10 at each of these locations to create an account for yourself. And then the bottom of every one of these pages, you're looking for security freeze. You click on that, you create the account, password, and the second step verification. And then you lock it down. And then if you're going to buy a car or a house next week or next month, you go to the bank or credit union and ask them where they're going to pull the report from. And then it's TransUnion, and then you log in and you unlock it for, a little bit of time. And as soon as you hear that they've pulled their report, you lock it back up. And this is, again, adding Social Security number has to freeze your identity with all 3 credit bureaus. Now, there's another way you can do this, Art. You can log in and buy one of those accounts with a credit agency, and they monitor your information for $39.99 a month for the rest of your life.
$39.99 a month, yeah.
You can do this, or you can do this one time. It's $10 for each place, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You'll never have to pay again. And then you can lock it and unlock it as you want.
You answered my next question. The $10 is a one-time fee, and once I pay that fee, I can unlock and lock and unlock and lock all I want. Is that right?
All you want. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
All right.
And, just another level of taking secure.
So are you offering? You're not offering cybersecurity classes, are you? I know you're doing some self-defense stuff, but are you doing any cybersecurity classes?
Well, I am at the corporate level. I'm doing a lot of different trainings. Like I've got a customer service training program that I do, and some active shooter training. But I'm also asked to do some of the cyber stuff as well. And so this is a big part of some of the many things that I'm training on.
And I know you have some self-defense for children and women coming up at the Gateway Sportsman Club in Unionville.
Yeah.
When is that?
Yeah. That's coming up November 27th, the weekend after Black Friday, after Thanksgiving. That Saturday, I've got 3 different programs for 3 different age groups. And normally these classes are $75 per person, but this is a special for the Gateway Sportsman Club out there in Unionville, and it's $25 per person. So
got a website
discount.
Got a website where people can find out about it.
Yeah. It's in one of those slides that I sent you.
Yeah.
It's on my securesolution.com under self-defense. SecureSolution.com under self-defense.
Secure Solution LLC.
Yeah, LLC.com.
Secure Solution. SecureSolutionLLC.com. And you'll find all that. You also work with Molitor International, but you provide leadership and team building to companies all over the world. So you're a busy person.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying, Art. I look at some of my crew, and I just got to keep moving.
That's right. You got it, friend. Don't let the age effect. Yeah, don't let the dust gather. That's a good one. There you go. All right, Henry. Listen, appreciate the information. Appreciate your time this morning.
All right, thanks, Art.
Have a good one. Take care.
Yep.
Bye bye now.
Weekend. Take care.
Yep, you too. Bye bye. Henry Reyna, security expert, and we thank him for being with us. It is important to make sure you, there's a lot of this two-item verification going around now. I know in our company, for example, we were required to do that for certain things. And I do it for a number of sites that I go to. I have two-party verification, and I'm looking to add that to more. Just makes you feel a lot more secure. All right. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about, you can give us a call. Time to get more for your money. It's time to think Thalen Kia. Thalen Kia, located on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Kia combines style, safety, plus dependability with their 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And it's included on every new Kia. And no one makes that dependability more affordable than Thalen Kia on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Get more value for less in a new Kia Rio S 5-door. Buy your new Kia Rio S, that's a mouthful, your new Kia Rio S 5-door from just $236 per month with nothing down for 84 months. It's time to think Thalen Kia, Euclid Avenue in Bay City, getting you more for your money because it's the right thing to do. Plus taxes, state, and dealer fees. 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. See Thalen for full warranty details. Included 500 Kia customer cash rebate, APR 3.9% on approved credit. See Thalen Kia for complete details. Deal ends October 21st, 2021. Shop online at ThalenKia.com. We will be back after these notes.
You can tell it's fall, huh?
Yeah, cooler days.
And leaves changing color.
Kitchen's becoming beautiful.
Yeah, kitchen's become... Wait, what was that?
Well, fall's the perfect time to upgrade our kitchen.
What makes you say that?
Our kitchen and the Wilsons.
Theirs is pretty spectacular. Who'd they hire again?
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery.
Let Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center help you create the perfect space for your home, from imagination to completion. Go to premierkitchenandbathgallery.com to get started. Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom. Get inspired.
Life can be, but here's one thing you can count on. The Covenant Center for the Heart is here for you. More people in the Great Lakes Bay region trust their hearts to Covenant Healthcare than any other area hospital. Why? Because we have the most comprehensive cardiac care in the region. From diagnosis in our chest pain center, to the region's first structural heart disease program, to our cardiac rehabilitation and wellness center. And because we keep our patients safe, Covenant has been awarded an A rating for patient safety from the Leapfrog Group 6 times running. So if you have an existing heart condition, call your cardiologist. If you experience symptoms like chest pain or shortness, 911 or come to the Covenant Emergency Care Center. Don't delay care. Life and hearts can be unpredictable. Trust yours to Covenant Healthcare, the leader for extraordinary care.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in a... It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hello, Fall. This is Sonia with Westside Decorating Center. Now that the temperatures are getting cooler, let's focus on making our homes cozier. I invite you to stop in and see all of our new samples of flooring and window coverings. Westside Decorating has a wide variety of smart home compatible motorized shades and unlimited options for custom draperies, valances, and bedding. Call our designers today for your complimentary consultation at 989-793-6182 or visit our showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw Township.
There are a lot of exciting things happening this fall. I want to focus on what's important, not what's for dinner. Luckily, HelloFresh delivers everything percent cheaper than grocery shopping. The quick and easy recipes are perfect for weeknights. We're all busy, but with HelloFresh, I actually have time to enjoy my meals. Go to HelloFresh.com/DanaCortez14 and use code DanaCortez14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. That's code DanaCortez14 for 14 free meals at HelloFresh.com/DanaCortez14.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning. Morning, Al.
Hey, I must have slipped under the tent on that deal because I locked my credit down years ago through the landline, and it didn't cost me anything. And they don't ask for money anymore from me. I have a password. I call up the credit union thing, and I give them a password, and I can tell them to unlock it. And the next time I call back, I give them my password and tell them to lock it.
Yeah,
and they do it for free. I've never paid any money.
Well, maybe now they charge.
Yeah, but I'm granted.
They don't charge it once you pay. Once you pay the $10 up front, they never charge you again.
Yeah, but I already have the account set up. And
well, you're already
it didn't
good.
cost me a dime.
Yeah,
so
but that's then.
I think the secret was doing it through a landline. I think that was part of the secret.
I don't know how that would make a difference to the credit bureaus.
It did years ago. I did this 10 years ago.
Whoa, all right. Well, then there's the answer.
yeah. Long time ago.
There's the answer.
I was on the bandwagon. We had a fellow come talk to our men's group. My dad was a member of, and I provided his transportation. And we were meeting at the community center. And this fellow came in and did a security talk about TransUnion and locking your credit down and getting a credit report and the whole works. And he told us how to set this up 10 years ago. So,
well, times change a little bit.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Good enough, Al.
Well,
appreciate
it. He was pretty good on that.
Good.
He kind of skated around a little bit.
Yeah.
You should have let him cover a little more on the VPN sooner because he kind of mixed that up a little bit. But maybe not too many people got confused.
All right.
That's a confusing subject. You need to give it a lot of time and cover it slowly because when the fellow came to talk to our men's group, he had to go step by step through it too.
All right. Fair enough.
There,
we
sir.
may do that in the future. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. I want to take a little time here. Something I was told about this morning by one of my fellow workers who lives in the Freeland School District. I suspect, after doing a little research, that Freeland is not the only district that does this. There is a survey called the MIPHY. It's a Michigan public health kind of survey about students. And if I were a parent, I'd be screaming bloody murder for a couple of reasons. One, it's given to 7th, 9th, and 11th graders, and it is intrusive to say the least. It's a survey, by the way, foisted upon the districts by the State Department of Education. But because it is so intrusive, it bugs me that parents have to opt their students out rather than opting them in. And supposedly they're doing this to better understand the children they serve and all of that. Well, let me read you some of the questions, and I warn you ahead of time. Some of these will cause you angst. Here are some of the questions on this survey to 7th, 9th, and 11th graders. This in particularly in Freeland, which has a great reputation, by the way, as a wonderful school district. We're not knocking them in any way, shape, or form. This came down from the State Department of Education. However, the method of getting the information out may be a little suspect. Here are some of the questions. I'm just going to go through a few of them. 1, are you transgender? 2, have you ever been forced to have sexual intercourse when you did not want to? How old were you when you had sexual intercourse for the first time? These are questions for kids. The first time you had sexual intercourse, how old was your partner? During your life, with how many people have you had sexual intercourse? Now remember, this is for kids. Imagine a 7th grader getting this. During your life, with whom have you had sexual contact? No one? Only females? Only males? Both females and males? Did you drink alcohol or use drugs before you had intercourse for the first time? During the past 12 months, did you make a plan about how you would attempt suicide? 7th, 9th, and 11th graders. And I mean, I shook my head when I read this. I can't believe a school district, but they, again, it's coming from the top. It's not coming from the bottom. The State Department of Education sent these surveys out. I would be up in arms. And I know my colleague is. That's how I got the information. And he did have contact with the superintendent, who did respond to him, and we'll give him credit for that. But the part that I read that really triggered me was parents have to opt out instead of opting in. So just thought I'd mention that this morning. You know, if you're a parent, you got kids in school, be mindful of what they're getting in the way of surveys and what they're being asked. I would be absolutely livid. I mean, I would be livid if my youngster got that kind of a survey without me knowing it, or without me having the opportunity to opt into it rather than have to opt out. So just thought I'd mention that. Quick break. We'll get back. We'll have Paul and Saginaw when we return.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. But we wanted to do more. So, get 200 megabit per second internet for $49.99 a month and business phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-258-5887 and switch to Spectrum Business. Restrictions apply.
Hello, my name is the Reverend Blake D. Strozier, and I am the senior pastor of the Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church. I am also a member of the Saginaw African American Pastors. I am urging all residents of Saginaw to get the COVID vaccination shot for a variety of reasons. The first reason is to protect yourself. The second reason is to protect those around you. Full vaccination affords you the opportunity to reconnect with family, neighbors, church members, co-workers, and friends without fear of catching or receiving the virus. It's our shot to a sense of returning back to normalcy. So Saginaw, let's get vaccinated.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, Fireplace Doors, Gas Logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home.
And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
And we're back with you from our Saginaw Spirit Home studio, and Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Got three quick issues. Does 989 start this Sunday, the 24th, or this next Sunday, the 31st?
I'm not sure, but I know it is starting in one of those two because I got a notification from my carrier, as a matter of fact. Let me see if I still have it. Let me see here if I got it. I don't think I saved it. I did not. I'm not sure, but I have to tell you, once I got that notification, I've started to get in the habit of doing it anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to start on the 24th, whether it starts on then or the next Sunday, just to be safe.
Yep.
Issue number two is, I heard on the national desk this morning that all those truckers that got laid off or quit during the pandemic, many of them got hired by Amazon, and that shortage of truckers for consumer goods, oil, and food.
That's a part of it, but there was a huge shortage of truckers before the pandemic even started.
Oh, absolutely. There was 61,000 short. Now it's 85,000 short. And the third issue was, in the latest issue of my Michigan church newspaper, it says today, 1 out of 4 pregnancies end in abortion. That means 25% of the future population won't be paying in the Social Security, Medicare, and income tax for infrastructure and
that seems high. Fire. So that seems way high.
It was in the latest issue of my church paper. So
I still think it sounds high.
It sounds high to me too. It really does.
Yeah, it sounds ridiculously high. I mean, 1 out of 4, that's 25% of all births. I don't think so. I doubt that. I know where you're at. You told me that, but that doesn't mean I believe it. You know, I think that number's way off.
I'm a little skeptical myself. But,
all right. Good enough, Paul.
All right. That's all I had.
Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye.
Going back to that school survey for a minute, I found there's a website. It's called it's a profile for healthy youth, the Michigan Profile for Healthy Youth. That's what the survey is. And there is a website that has all the information, all the forms. Supposedly parents are given a form, and on the bottom of the form, there is a place where you can check that your child will not participate. Now, my objection to that is, if the child doesn't bring the form home, if the parent doesn't get the form, the child is automatically in the program. I think the form ought to say, my child will participate, and the parent check off will participate. So they opt into this pretty intrusive survey, rather than opt out. And that's where we'll leave it. Next hour, we are going to have a conversation with the president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries, Dr. Stephanie Duggan. Recently found out that Ascension is going to make a $125 million investment in those properties after a $50 million investment when she came up a couple of years ago. So we will talk to Stephanie about that next hour. And let me remind you again about my insurance agent, Tom Sureski. because I've been with Allstate since 1974 and Tom for many, many, many years. I'm happy with the company because they've always been there for me. And I'm even more happy with my agent because he listens. And after he hears what I have to say, then he gives me the advice and the plans I need. And that's exactly what Tom Sureski and his agency can do for you. Protecting your home, auto, motorcycle, RV, boat, motorhome, rental property, even your classic car. Or specialty insurance to cover a wedding. Or pet insurance for your cat or dog. And they serve the business community with Allstate supplemental health benefits. Do as I do. You shop locally with a business you trust. And I trust Tom Sureski from all my insurance needs. You can visit his agency on Tittabawassee Road, just west of the tracks in Saginaw Township, or call him at 989-497-0300. 497-0300. Tell him Art Lewis sent you. You're in good hands with Allstate. You're even in better hands with the Tom Sureski Agency. We'll be back to close out.
For 3 generations, Delta Door has been installing and servicing garage doors in the Great Lakes Bay area. Now they're looking for additional installation specialists to share the tradition with an ever-increasing number of new customers. If you're good with equipment and have a clean driving record, if you're willing to work a busy week and can handle some minimum physical requirements, Delta Door would like to talk with you about a full-time opportunity as an installer. Apply in person at Delta Door, 2835 Universal Drive, Saginaw.
For the best garage doors, service and more, call the Delta Door Doctor, Delta Door.
At CDW, we get the right workspace helps you work better.
But my webcam is finally at the right height, and I found the perfect cardboard box for my tangled assortment of cords and cables.
Sounds great, but with Trip-Lite Work from Anywhere solutions orchestrated by CDW, it's easier for your teams to work consistently and productively with tools like monitor mounts, USB docks, and adapters.
Know anyone who wants 3 encyclopedias from 1992?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Trip-Lite.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this. Wait, solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
News is next.
OptimaTaxRelief.com.
News is next, and we'll be back with Dr. Stephanie Duggan. Talk to you after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The leading COVID vaccine manufacturer has released results of a new study on vaccinating children. Correspondent Linda Kenyon.
Pfizer says its vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11 is both safe and 91% effective. The news comes as millions of children have been infected with COVID amid the surge of. If federal regulators sign off on it, vaccinations could start as soon as next month, with children fully immunized by Christmas.
Yesterday, the CDC approved booster shots for people vaccinated with Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Drugstore chains say they'll be available today. Colorado Governor Jared Polis is sounding the alarm over COVID hospitalizations. He says his state is running out of ICU beds because of a skyrocketing number of new cases there.
This is a very stark reminder for anybody who thought the pandemic was over, they could slip by without getting vaccinated. This is a wake-up call.
Police in Santa Fe, New Mexico are investigating after Alec Baldwin discharged a prop cinematographer on the set of his upcoming movie Rust. Hollywood weapons expert Bill Davis.
If someone actually got killed, which they did, that would have to be a live round of ammunition.
The movie's director, Joel Souza, was wounded. President Biden's considering the possibilities after Senate Republicans defeated a voting rights bill multiple times, most recently on Wednesday. He tells CNN,
we're going to have to move to the point
where we fundamentally altered the filibuster.
Mr. Biden believes he'll lose at least 3 votes on his social policy bill if he pushes for an end to the filibuster. Yesterday, the president said the U.S. is committed to defending Taiwan if it's attacked, and the defense up today.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was asked today if the U.S. would defend the island against China, and while he would not discuss hypothetical situations.
Nobody wants to see cross-strait issues come to blows. Certainly not President Biden, and there's no reason that it should.
But Austin says the U.S. remains committed to its long-standing one China policy. Cammie McCormick, CBS News at NATO headquarters.
Queen Elizabeth is back home at Windsor Castle after overnighting at a hospital in London where she underwent testing. Correspondent Charlie D'Agata is in Windsor.
As far as we understand, the Queen is okay. The palace sources. She's in good health. She's resting and undertaking what they're calling some light duties.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson has just said the 95-year-old monarch is working at her desk today. This week, the Queen canceled a planned visit to Ireland on doctor's orders to take it easy for a few days. Dow up 130. This is CBS News.
Indeed helps find great hires fast. Indeed is your all-in-one platform for interviewing, screening, and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to EDU and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hi, I'm Terry Rocket. Are you happy with your Medicare? I am now, after I met the pros at Medicare Choices. Yes, you do have choices when it comes to Medicare coverage. No cookie cutter plan for me. You buy a pair of shoes if they fit. Get the right fit. A customized plan designed just for you that helps you protect that hard-earned retirement income. Call 989-899-7820, MedicareChoicesInfo.com. We'll walk you through it.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom is WSGW News.
Mostly sunny skies and 39 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Kershaw. The shipping freighter ran aground in the Saginaw River in Bay City last night. The Coast Guard officials say the Calumet, a 630-foot freighter hauling 19,000 tons of limestone and 96,000 gallons of diesel fuel, was pushed by high winds around 8 o'clock. That was this morning, actually, causing the ship to veer off course and become stuck in the river bottom near the Lake State Railway Bridge. The position of the ship and the bridge prevented the ship from moving from that location, partially blocking the river. 500-yard safety zone while crews worked to free the ship, which was this morning. No hazardous materials were detected in the water around the freighter, which has continued its trek up the river. Michigan Sugar begins this year's sugar beet harvest today, and co-op officials say the crop could reach a record yield of 34 tons per acre, up from the previous record of 31.64 tons per acre set in 2015. Here's Ann Williams.
The company's grower owners usually harvest about 4.6 million tons of sugar beets, but the number this year could end up around 5.4 million tons. Michigan Sugar officials say the large crop, less wet weather in October, and has delayed the start of full harvest about a week. Because of the large crop, Michigan Sugar's Board of Directors voted last week to authorize possibly asking growers to leave up to 5% of their acres unharvested. They'll make a final decision about that around November 1st. By the end of this year's campaign, the company will have produced more than 1.3 billion pounds of sugar. Michigan Sugar also has major projects underway in Bay City, a $2 million expansion of its packaging operation to increase brown sugar production, and a $65 million project to build a new molasses desugarization facility. The company is also hiring seasonal and year-round employees. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
Sign 1007.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. Well thought out financial can make the difference between just surviving and
good. How are you?
Good.
Using everyday language. This
Be with
book
you shortly.
explores
Hang
how a
on.
simple process.
No worries.
I turn
cover
things
all
off
the
when
bases
we're
of
not
your
on
financial life, including.
Yep, I'm going to mute for now. You tell me when I unmute.
Your finances are too important to leave to chance.
You can unmute when I
Your
come back.
Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Just under 400 Beaumont employees have been suspended for failing to get the COVID vaccine. Beaumont healthcare officials say the number of people who failed to meet the vaccine requirement amount to just about 1% of the workforce. If they did, they will be fired. Officials say about 70 employees have resigned because they've chosen not to get vaccinated. There is testimony in Lansing yesterday about the water crisis in Benton Harbor.
It's important that we fund our students.
Is the water in Benton Harbor safe to drink or not?
Yes. No, it's not. People should be drinking bottled water.
Liesl Clark is the director of EGLE, the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, speaking before the state's House Oversight Committee.
So if you know that this is an urgent 911, then cut the check.
Benton Harbor Mayor Marcus Mohammed, believing the state's aim to replace century-old infrastructure in the next 18 months is possible.
Yeah, I know it's a Mount Everest undertaking. However, I think that if we work together, we might be surprised.
Right now, the state is providing free bottled water and filters.
EPA is doing a filter study to make sure that the filters that we think are highly effective also work with the Benton Harbor water chemistry, and we hope to have those results soon.
What's our timeline on that?
That's a great question. The team was meeting this morning with that conversation. I don't have an answer.
Days, weeks, months?
I'm hoping it's weeks.
Jason Scott, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call EW Newsroom at 752-0790. It is now 10:10. I'm Mike Persha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for your day today with a high around 50 degrees. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a low around 40. Saturday, partial sunshine develops a high around 53 degrees. And then as for rain showers here late, blend of clouds and sunshine develops a high around 53. By Monday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high around 51. Then Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high of 58. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 38.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning here on WSGW. It was recently announced that Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North will be the beneficiaries of a rather sizable investment from Ascension. to the tune of $125 million on top of $50 million that was already spent. We're going to find out about that and lots more this morning as we talk to the president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries. We say good morning to Dr. Stephanie Duggan. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. Always a pleasure.
Always good to see you. I want to start, before we get into the money and the expenditures and the rehabs and all of that, I have to start with COVID because it's so much in the news. First of all, the question, how much COVID are you seeing in the hospital system? Are you seeing a lot of patients?
We are. We're seeing, we're consistent with what is being seen across the country. And particularly in mid-Michigan right now, we're probably, 10 to 15% of our patients are testing positive. So, and what is really interesting is that of the patients that are requiring hospitalization for COVID at this time, about 80% are not vaccinated. So the vaccination definitely helps decrease the severity of the disease, even if there is a breakthrough.
The other 20% that are vaccinated, are their symptoms less than, say, those that are not vaccinated?
Correct. There are many that we don't need to hospitalize at all. They'll come in and be seen and treated for the respiratory symptoms largely, and then be able to be discharged and managed at home. So it definitely, the vaccine decreases the severity and decreases the likelihood that you will, number one, die, which is the end goal in all of this. And then the second thing is it really does decrease the chance that you will have to be hospitalized for the disease.
All right, and the next question on this and the last one on this, is Ascension requiring your employees to be vaccinated, and what's been the response, and where do we go from here?
So Ascension has decided to go with a national mandate that all of our people that are employed by Ascension will be vaccinated by November 12th. As with any mandate, some people are highly supportive and some people are not. Getting the vaccine is a very individual choice, and it has to be the right decision for people. So it's tough.
What happens come November 12th?
Well, there's still some conversation about what actually happens on November 12th, and the details of all that are still being worked out.
All right. And we heard Beaumont and others have already begun severing connections with some of their employees. We hope you don't have to go through that.
Oh, so do we.
Yeah. Let's talk about the good news here. $125 million, that is a sizable investment by anybody's standards. But before we talk about how that's going to get spent, how did the $50 million get spent?
So we are doing really well with the 50 million. We said that the 50 million was our keep the lights on money. And so we did a lot of work just to get kind of things spruced up. A large chunk of the 50 million, 17 million to be exact, is being used to finish up our newly renovated and brand new emergency department. So parts were renovated, parts are brand new. As we combined and expanded, we nearly tripled the footprint from our old emergency department. So we have space to work in. The doctors and the staff have a very modern facility. So that was the last of the 50 million. Other parts of the 50 million, we needed a new CAT scanner. We needed some other X-ray equipment. We needed some OR equipment. And, you think 50 million should go farther than it actually does.
Yeah. Not when you're talking about what you're talking about. That's expensive stuff. And as I've said I've known Stephanie now, and as I've said to her, because she is an ER doc, I've said many times to her, you can take the ER out of the girl, but you can't take the girl out of the ER. How many times do you go down there?
You mean how many times a day? Or
No, you got too many presidential duties to do that.
I love administration because I love where we can go when we all work together as a hospital and as a community. I think we can really make a difference for the community that we serve. But my comfort zone is very much in the emergency department, and I really get a pulse for what's happening, because what happens in the ER then translates into what happens on the floors. So it's kind of like my front door quick glimpse of what's happening, and then we know what to anticipate in 8 to 10 hours as those patients get moved through and worked through and end up on the floor. So
All
I
right.
do
And
wander through fairly often.
I promise we're going to get to the 125 million here, but every time I talk to you, I think of new questions because I don't think I ever asked you, what was it in your day that tempted a young woman to look at medicine and then go into the ER?
So it's interesting, Art. One of the things that I share and that I always ask when I'm interviewing prospective physicians is what drew them to their particular field. Because the field picks you. I always loved science. I had one grandmother who told me that she would never see a female physician, and she lived to the ripe old age of 101. And at 97, she actually converted to a female doctor. And I had another grandmother that said that I was living the life that she would have lived if she'd been born, when I was born and not back in the 20s when she was born. So it was an interesting perspective. So I thought I would be a vet. I did veterinary science through 4-H, which I love the 4-H programs. And the vet that I was working with is wonderful, Dr. Michael Chaddock. And he said to me, "You will never make a living if you become a vet." You like science enough. You really seem to have an appreciation and talent for it. Why don't you look at human medicine? And so from 7th grade on, I always wanted to be a doctor.
And you pursued that.
Absolutely. And then as far as emergency medicine goes, the only docs I knew in my town of 2,000 people were pediatricians. And so I thought I would be a pediatrician. And I ended up going to Wayne State for medical school. And first day on the wards, warning, this does get a little bloody and gory. But the first day on the wards, third year, is when you actually get to become clinical. I was on a surgical rotation. There were only 2 females out of 12 of us. And so they said, "Hey, you guys probably don't want to be surgeons. So one of you go to the pediatric emergency room, one of you go to the adult emergency room." And all I could think of as I was walking down to the adult ER was, "Please don't pass out. Please don't pass out," because I really hadn't been exposed to anything like this. And I didn't want to be the, young student that was over in the corner, like they show on the TV shows. Right. So I'm in there and I walk in, and as I'm walking down, I hear trauma team to the trauma room. So I'm like, oh man, now this is getting even more nerve wracking. I walk in, it was a gunshot wound to the chest, and in penetrating trauma, you crack open the chest with basically a scalpel and then a saw. You actually physically squeeze the heart to get circulation through. And they're like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I was right in the thick of it and absolutely loved it. And then every other rotation that I did following that just didn't grab me like the emergency department did. So I feel very blessed that I had a wonderful 25 years, of active clinical medicine.
So how do they drag a young ER doctor kicking and screaming into administration?
Well, they just keep giving you tasks and say, "Hey, why don't you join this committee and see if you can make some changes? Hey, why don't you become the assistant chairman of the department? And hey, we're starting this freestanding emergency department out at town center. Do you want to get involved in that?" And as long as you can continue to make a difference, it's very satisfying.
And we should point out your ER work, a lot of it was right here in Saginaw.
15 years.
So you came back home in a way, as president.
All 3 of my children were born here. So Saginaw is, as the kids say, since we've moved around quite a bit, well, now we're back home.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I've got to take a break. When we come back, I promise we're going to talk about a $125 million investment in Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries with its president, Dr. Stephanie Duggan. Time to play the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hisson Company in downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is straw, S-T-R-A-W, straw. It's an Alpha company-wide contest. One winner chosen each day. You must be 18 or older to play. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hisson Company on WSGW. We'll take a break. Also, when we come back after this break, we'll hear from Terry Henney out at Johnson's Giant Pumpkins. All of that ahead on the Art Lewis Show and more with Dr. Duggan.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at exergen.com.
Compromise is nice if you're at the playground or scouring yard sales. But farmers know better that middle grounds have no winner. That's why there's Revitec fungicide, fast-acting and long-lasting, preventative and curative, disease control and stress reduction. So leave the settling to little Tommy at the seesaw, an old bargain bill, and take your full prize in Revitec fungicide for uncompromised performance. Always read and follow label directions.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with British accents. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance blokes fetching dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you skint, mate.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I think that's what I said, you blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks are trading. Industrials rose to a record in early trading, though there's a warning about the future of advertising on social media. Snap Inc., the parent company of Snapchat, says Apple's new privacy changes to the iPhone are making it more difficult for advertisers to target their ads. Though American Express saw a rebound in credit card use this summer, its earnings and revenue top forecasts helped by spending on travel and at restaurants. Chipotle Mexican Grill says its customers are still ordering online and they've been returning to restaurants and buying new menu items. Chipotle's summer quarter top forecast sales at existing stores were up more than 15%, though Chipotle says not all of its down. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only the thermometer has been proven accurate, with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at exergen.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Broadcasting today from Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm, the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil and Rummel Insurance underwriting our broadcast today as we wrap up the fall season here at Johnson's. This weekend, next weekend, the final 2 weekends for you to have a lot of fun. And there are a number of events going on here at Johnson's. You know, it's been a tradition for well over 35 years. Donuts, pumpkins, giant pumpkins, corn mazes, you name it, animals, all sorts of things for the kids to do. The nice thing about it, parents, is there's plenty for the kids, and it's a great opportunity to just get out and get some fresh air. And especially with this weekend, temperatures a whole lot cooler than what they have been. It's invigorating. It actually feels like fall. So dress appropriately and come on out. Yeah, they've got the caramel apples. You bet they've got the donuts, and they've got lots of edible things for you to enjoy and just sit back, relax, and enjoy Michigan in the fall. Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm, come on out this weekend. We'll have more reports as we go through the morning.
All right, Terry, we'll look for your reports. And, of course, the Farm Show also coming from Johnson's. We're talking to Dr. Stephanie Duggan. She is the president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries. $125 million was announced by Ascension coming this way. That's over and above the 50. So how are we going to spend that $125 million? Will it last longer than the 50?
Well, first of all, it was just the most amazing day ever to be able to even say that number, you know, that 125 million is being invested in our community. And to think about that, the jobs it will create for our nursing staff and our frontline workers to be able to come into the hospital newly updated. A couple of things that we will be doing that I think will really benefit our frontline caregivers, because right now our rooms are a little bit older style. We have double occupancy rooms, so we are going to be turning those rooms into single occupancy rooms. So we'll be able to have extra room in there to have a family member be able to stay, more comfortably. You'll have your own bathroom. And so another thing that we're doing is we're adding 2 floors over our 3rd floor. And so we'll have 42 brand new intensive care unit beds. With our comprehensive stroke program, our trauma program, our very active surgery program, having those extra intensive care unit beds, especially brand new state of the art, will really enable us to have it easier on our frontline staff. Our current rooms now are smaller. And as patients have gotten sicker, when you're trying to manage multiple pumps and squeeze in between the pumps and then take your vital signs on the patient, it gets a little bit crowded very quickly. And so to have that extra space, the newly renovated rooms will be a huge help for our frontline caregivers as well as our staff.
I assume this has to be done in phases. You can't just shut the hospital down. So how are you going to do it?
Well, as much as I would love to, that ER mentality, I would like to be able to just, look into that crystal ball that you sometimes give me and say, let's go ahead and get rolling. So we finish up the emergency department November 30th. And so then we're going to be launching into, there's still a little bit of conversation about what will go first. Are we going to be renovating floor rooms first and then starting on the ICU? So a little bit of conversation about what makes sense. So I don't know the exact order, but our goal is to have all of these projects completed in the next 3 to 4 years. So we'll be shutting down units at various times, depending on, what's happening with our staffing, and just making it happen.
Not all the money, of course, was for Ascension St. Mary's. What's happening with the North money? What are you going to be doing up north?
So Standish Hospital has been having some trailers on their campus, and they have been seeing patients within the trailers. And so we will be eliminating all of the trailers on their campus and putting up a state-of-the-art medical office building. So we'll be able to have our primary care physicians have a permanent office without being in a trailer. We'll then have hotel spaces. So when our cardiologists, when our orthopedic surgeons, when they come into town, they'll have their own, it's called hotel space. So they'll be able to have patients all kind of all come into the same entrance and be in a very comfortable, modern place. The other thing in Standish is they really don't have an emergency department waiting area. They have their 8 beds in the emergency department, but only a little tiny place where you walk in and register and then go immediately to your room. But if there isn't a room available, there's nowhere to go. So the patients were waiting in their car, especially with the COVID pandemic. And so we'll be renovating that area, moving physical therapy out into the medical office building so the ED can expand and have a waiting room so patients can wait comfortably if needed, or family members can wait comfortably if needed. And up in Tawas, because there's something for everybody with 125 million, very excited in Tawas, they will be having a new OB suite created. So currently the OB suite is on the main floor of the hospital. And this time the OB suite will now be on the 2nd floor. It's currently shelved out space, and there will be rooms overlooking the lake. So it will be a lovely place to labor.
So let's talk for a minute about hospitals and how they're surviving in this day and age. Financially, are hospitals sound?
So I can only speak for what I know. I would say that I'm very blessed to be working with Ascension. We have hospitals all over the country. And what has been really helpful about that is when Michigan was surging, Texas wasn't. When Texas was surging, Michigan, praise God, was taking a little bit of a break from the COVID pandemic. And so the balance sheet has remained very solvent. So we are very blessed. And that's part of the reason we've been able to, have the 125 million investment into the community in spite of, COVID and what's happening.
It seems to me, Stephanie, that hospitals for a long time, when they advertise to the public, it's come stay with us because we've got the latest in gizmos and all that stuff. And I understand that because as a patient, I want to go where you've got the best. You never hear a hospital advertise, come stay with us because we're $10 cheaper than the guy down the road. Doesn't happen, does it? It's a very competitive world, isn't it?
It is very competitive, and it's very competitive on every level, for supplies, for staffing, for patients to come, as you described. What we are trying to do as an industry is right size where the care is given. Hospital care by nature is the most expensive care because it's the most resource intensive. You see across the country, CVS and Walgreens entering into various parts of what was traditionally hospital business, but you don't see anyone else going out and saying, hey, let's start more hospitals. So it is tough and it's competitive, but to me, it always comes back to there's only one number one. The number one is the patient. And if you always keep that as your focus, you'll continue to provide great care.
Are you willing to take a couple of calls?
Sure.
Really brave.
I can always mute.
Yeah, that's true. I think we have Dave in Midland. Is that right? Dave, are you there? Dave dropped out. All right. How about Al in Saginaw? Al?
Yes.
Go ahead. You're on with Dr. Duggan.
Hi, Doctor. I have two questions. One has to do with the computer, our two hospitals, Covenant and St. Mary's. Currently, they don't talk to each other. Is there any effort made to alleviate that problem? And the other question I had is this November 12th date, which is the date that some of your employees are going to make a decision. I happen to have a appointment for surgery on that date. Should I be concerned about being able to have that, or what's your comment on that?
Good question, Al.
Yeah, good question, Al. So number one, thank you for choosing and being willing to trust us with your care. I'll comment on the computer system. Covenant has Epic, and that is a computer system that is, kind of self-enclosed. St. Mary's has a system called Meditech. So it's like having Apple and Microsoft kind of talk to each other. It doesn't always work very well when you try and have systems kind of integrate. Because billing and coding and everything is based off of those systems, we can get data from each other, but we are not integrated. So the second piece is for your surgery on the 12th. We are, we won't know until actually that day. People are continuing to get the vaccine. Our employees want to do everything that we can to make certain that we are keeping each other safe, keeping our patients safe. And so we are also having contingency plans. So we have additional staff coming in. So yes, please come in on the 12th and we will provide excellent care for your surgery. Thank you for asking the question.
Al, let me ask you this, Al. You know who your surgeon is, correct?
Correct.
All right. Ask your surgeon if they're vaccinated. If your surgeon's vaccinated, move on. It's time to go. All right.
Okay.
All right, Al. Thanks a lot. Stephanie, can you hang on?
Sure.
Okay. I want to take a break here and we'll come back. We're talking to Dr. Stephanie Duggan, president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show with Dr. Duggan after these notes.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special VA programs. Many of you have attended my the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trusts? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Should I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend attorney Jerry Reif's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Thursday, November 11th at 2 p.m. in Saginaw at the Capocco Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or register online at jerryreiflawyer.com.
Did you get all the stimulus money for you and your family? Do you have children and monthly child tax credit payments? You can claim your monthly child tax credit payments and missing stimulus payments, even if you don't file a traditional tax return. Visit ssa.gov/EIP to learn how you can apply online. Get the money your family deserves. Visit ssa.gov/EIP. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure, whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
There's confusion about how to protect your... One thing is certain, whether you're vaccinated or not, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you, chatting with Dr. Stephanie Duggan, president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries. Stephanie, I have to ask, I think Al brought up an interesting question about computers talking to each other and how not all hospitals communicate. Because of your computer system, does that keep you off of my chart?
So there's each one of the health systems in a hospital needs to have some form of my chart, your chart, whatever the name is, for the patients to be able to access their own data.
So you have your own then?
We have our own, correct.
So, you know, with the government mandate that everything go computer and all our health information is out there someplace, is the day going to come when all hospitals will be forced to talk to each other?
So there's all kinds of health information exchanges and, you know, trying to force the very question that you're talking about. The veteran hospitals are fully connected and integrated on their system, but yet you have to be careful about private, you know, competing with government. And so that system won't really work. So there's a lot of questions out there. And as more and more technology comes into play, that's where I wish I had my crystal ball to see what would actually happen. But health information is so protected that the cybersecurity becomes incredibly complex. And so I think there's a lot more work to be done in that space before we see a massive integration.
I'll use me as an example because I can't violate my own HIPAA.
True.
Over the years, many years, for very few times, but I have been in both Covenant and St. Mary's. So if I came to St. Mary's tomorrow with a condition and you needed to find out what happened to me at Covenant, could you get that information?
Yes, with your permission, then there are ways that we can access the information, and they can fax it over or email it, or there's ways that we can actually have the conversation with your permission. It's not like we could go in and access that, and vice versa.
Yeah, that's where HIPAA comes into play, huh?
Correct.
All right. Steve is in Chesaning. Steve, you are on with Dr. Duggan. Good morning. Steve, are you there?
Question. I got.
Yep.
Hi. You there?
Yep. Go ahead.
I got a question. You pretty much hit on what I was saying, Art, about the computers. Now, I guess I'll ask Dr. Duggan, what kind of computers does like the University of Michigan, Cleveland Clinic, and Henry Ford have? Because they were able to tell me that they were able to get my information without a problem.
So when you sign the release, that enables the doctor that is caring for you to request the records from your other doctors, regardless of the system. It's just not integrated. It's just the doctor that is seeing you at University of Michigan would have their record, which would not necessarily be completely involved with the record in Saginaw. Now, University of Michigan and Covenant are both on Epic, so there may be some way that they're talking a little more coherently than interacting with Epic and Cerner or Epic and Meditech. Does that make sense?
It does, but they seem like they were able to get my records without any problem. So
I can explain it. I can explain it, Steph.
But I was asking you first, Art. You covered most of my questions.
Yeah, but I can tell you why they can do that. They must all use the same health computer system because they are all on my chart. All of the institutions you mentioned are on the same system. Henry Ford, Beaumont is on it. U of M is on it. I didn't notice Cleveland Clinic. They may be. But they must, I assume, Stephanie, because they're all on that same my chart, they must all be using the same computer system. Yeah. It's compatible, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what Henry Ford is on, but I know that Covenant is on Epic and University of Michigan is on Epic as well. And you still need permission when you're treating that patient to access all of their records. And when the systems are not exactly on the same system, you still can get the records. So I don't want people to think that that's a barrier, that the doctors will still be able to get your records so the tests don't need to get repeated.
Right. Very good. Steve, thank you. Appreciate the call.
All right. Thank you, Art.
Steph, I know you're busy, so we're going to let you go, but I want to thank you for providing the time for us, as always.
It's always my pleasure.
We'll have to do it again as the $125 million gets spent. We'll have to do some updates, keep track of it.
Absolutely. It's going to be a wonderful time for the surrounding area around St. Mary's and for the whole community.
Is it going to interrupt service very much? Or are you trying to find ways to...
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just like in the emergency department, you shut down a couple of rooms, you convert a hallway into rooms. You do what you need to do, just like when you're doing home renovation. It's never quite like you want it to be when it's all finished, but it's way worth the effort.
Have yourself a great day. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being with us, Stephanie.
You
Bye-bye.
as well. Bye.
Dr. Stephanie Duggan, she is the president of Ascension St. Mary's and Ascension North Ministries, which includes Standish and Tawas. Thank you for joining us, and we will keep track of how they do with that $125 million investment in our communities, over and above the $50 million that she originally came to town with. And we will take a break. After this break, we'll hear from Terry Henney again out at Johnson's Pumpkin Farm. All of that is ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you always.
Recently, I was an auto loan and saw an opportunity to help them save some money. By refinancing their credit card debt, we were able to save them over $600 a month. This is one of the many ways that we deliver outstanding service to our members.
Delivering marvelous experiences, saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. It's what we do every day. Find out for yourself. Call 800-227-2328. Click on wildfirecu.org or come by to experience banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. These are actual examples of savings and not guaranteed in every situation.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Hartel Heating Company helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Hartel Heating Company to help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today at 989-892-6111 or visit us online at hartelheating.com. License number 71-03370.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. True crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Buddy, we're broadcasting today from Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm. You know, I forgot to mention 4715 North Portsmouth Road. A lot of folks have been here over the years, over the last 35 years or so, and a lot of folks have been to Johnson's so far this fall. This weekend and next weekend are the final 2 weekends for you to come on out and enjoy all of the farm animals, acres and acres to wander. Of course, that corn maze, they've got mazes for the little ones too. It's just a lot of fun and a lot of different things for everyone to enjoy. And you know what's really important about all of this? It's free. Anything you pay for something to eat. If you pay for anything, you pay for something to enjoy. Decorations for your home for the upcoming holidays. Their craft area is the biggest it's ever been, and the crafters have really been busy here selling product at Johnson's, and there's still lots to pick up yet. Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm, located on Portsmouth Road, North Portsmouth Road, hoping that you have a very happy Halloween, and they're going to be open right up to Halloween. Our report's brought to you today by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil and the Rummel Insurance Agency.
All right, Terry, thanks. And we'll get another report from Terry next hour, and then the farm show, of course, from Johnson's Pumpkin Farm. A few minutes left here. If you want to try and get in real quick if there's something you want to talk about, 752-6111, toll free 866-790-WSGW, as I broadcast from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio, courtesy of Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial needs in real estate, call her at 989-295-7713. And don't forget Cafe 476 at Pinnacle Realty at the Point, M46 and M47. All new soup menu and beverages, great food items, and lots of coffees, espressos, bubbles, all that good stuff is there. I don't know if you heard in the news, and I can't wait to hear more about this, but Alec Baldwin was firing a prop gun on a set in New Mexico of the movie Rust that they're future shooting. He discharged it and it killed the cinematographer and injured the director. Now, understand that prop guns aren't really prop. They're guns. They load them with blanks, not with projectiles. So the question is, what was it loaded with? How far away was he when he accidentally or on purpose pulled the trigger, one or the other? And what was the kill? We'll have to wait and find out. They're investigating. Let's see. Mark in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, I'm seeing reports out there that Mayorkas has tested positive for the COVID virus. He's been vaccinated. There's also rumors that he says he didn't catch it from the border.
Has he been to the border?
Exactly. I'll believe that rumor.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think this Biden plan's going to get through? I see it's kind of stalling on all the networks that are just kind of.
I would believe. Here's what I think will happen, and this is just a guess. All right. I think they will shrink the plan to a point where Manchin and Sinema can agree to it. It'll be probably less than $2 trillion, probably down in the one somethings. I think 1.5 is what Manchin's benchmark was. So we are liable to get some of it. What doesn't look like it's going to happen right now are tax increases to pay for it. Sinema's dead against them. And it appears that the tax proposal side of it is dead right now. So it's going to be interesting to see first if they get the plan and then how they're going to pay for it.
Right. So once they agree on the whatever number they agree upon, the 2-3 trillion, whatever it is, after that's agreed upon, isn't it everybody else piles on those little pork, get added to it until the final bill is passed, and then it could be up to 5 to 6 trillion?
No, then it won't happen. Manchin won't let that happen. That's the one thing that won't happen. This bill will be a standalone. Now, what could happen? Not in this bill. Let's speculate for a minute. All right, Mark. Let's say that they get a $1.5 trillion package that has some of their goodies in it, and it gets passed. And they also passed the $1.2 trillion hard infrastructure package, which is being held hostage. Then what's going to happen is you're going to see a whole host of bills down the road for all the things that didn't get put in. Right. For example, all of a sudden, if, for example, expanded Medicare doesn't make it into the final bill, somebody will propose a bill to expand Medicare. And somebody will propose a bill to do XYZ, whatever was left out. The problem with that is they're running out of time, and they know it. Yeah. 2022 is an election year for midterms. They are in a very tenuous position. All they'd lose is they'd lose one senator, they're finished. And in the House, if they lose a very few seats, they lose control. So they know if they've got to get anything done, they got to get it done now. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So who knows? But I think we'll see something. But I don't think it'll be nearly as big as they originally talked about.
Right.
All right. Good enough.
Enjoy your Friday, sir.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye now. Last caller, Tom in Saginaw Township. Tom, good morning.
Hi, Art. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm just peachy.
Good. What's up?
I was at a hospital today getting some blood work done, and they were doing this thing, they had a table out for breast cancer support, the treatment and stuff. They were dealing with the treatment side, but not with the preventive side. And that kind of frustrates me in a number of areas because breast cancer they can take it down to less than 2% risk with the right treatment and the right preventative measure, which is diet. And people don't want to talk about it. I said, at least do it when you're doing breast cancer awareness, at least in your cafeterias and stuff. Just put everything up that would support that, and not stuff that's going to, help people get the disease or get the.
Well, I think what you need to do is do both. I don't think you can do one exclusively.
I agree, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was at a football game a while ago where all the teams were wearing pink and stuff, and I saw a volleyball game recently where they did that, and they were doing breast cancer awareness, but they were they had a table set up, a booth set up to raise funds for it, and they were selling stuff that helped cause it. And that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Well, listen, diet is responsible for a lot of illnesses in our country. And there's a lot of publicity about it. We choose not to follow it, don't we? It's up to us. So, let's be honest.
I mean, come on.
Let's be honest about it.
I had my triple bypass. I'm fine.
Yeah. Have a steak on me. Hey, I got to run. I'm out of time, Tom. We'll talk again,
later.
though. Great
Bye.
subject. Thanks. Bye-bye now. All right, our last break, and then we'll be back to finish up after these notes.
Take a sleigh ride with the Beach Boys at Soaring Eagle Casino. Make it an unforgettable holiday with the Beach Boys.
Was a jolly happy soul with a corn cob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal.
The Beach Boys, holiday classics and greatest hits.
Surfing USA, I get around. Help me run, yeah.
Tickets start at $24. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle and Eagles Landing box offices or online at etix.com.
For Christmas.
Holiday Harmonies. Tickets on sale Saturday at Soaring Eagle Casino. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven at 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
All right, we're heading off to the news. CBS at the top of the hour, followed by the local report. On Focus today, we'll focus on the Bay City schools with Dr. Stephen Bigelow right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. Pfizer says its COVID vaccine for kids 5 to 11 is 91% effective in preventing symptoms. Dr. William Schaffner at Vanderbilt University says the finding will be important for regulators who are gearing up to consider authorizing it next week.
If you're visiting grandma, having the children vaccinated certainly gives you another layer of security that you're not bringing the virus along with you to celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever.
Older people and high-risk individuals can now get the newly approved Moderna and J&J booster shots.
High-risk settings really do consider where you live and where you work. So if you are working capacity, or if you're a grocery store worker, a police officer, healthcare worker.
CDC Director Rochelle Walensky on CBS Mornings. New charges against Robert Durst in New York, accusing him of murdering his former wife who disappeared in 1982. Durst, who is 78 and ailing, was sentenced last week to life in prison without parole for killing a longtime friend. Actor Alec Baldwin is in the spotlight. He says he's the key figure in a tragic death on a New Mexico movie set.
He was questioned by sheriffs after shooting a prop gun that injured the film's director, Joel Souza, and killed director of photography, Helena Hutchins. Sheriffs say she was airlifted to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Souza was also taken to a hospital.
A string of storms will roll through the west over the next few days. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson says California will get a lot of much-needed precipitation.
The most rain certainly going to be probably in the North Bay of the Bay Area, also up into this. There's going to be a lot of snow in the Sierra, too, maybe 5, 6, 7 feet at top of the mountains.
Well, fire crews at work today in Russia at the scene of a bad explosion and fire at a gunpowder factory. 16 people were killed. It happened in a region southeast of Moscow. In the UK, the word is Queen Elizabeth is in good spirits after a night in the hospital this week. The 95-year-old monarch's subjects are glad to hear it.
She's an older woman, and we are concerned for her health.
All the best for her. Hope she gets well soon. In Dubai, the world's largest and highest Ferris wheel is open. Tourists are saying, wow.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a history made, and it's going to be amazing.
The wheel is 820 feet tall. By comparison, the big one in Las Vegas is 550 feet. The Dow is up 82. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. TaxRelief.com.
Finding the right Medicare plan may feel impossible, but now it's anything but. With Walgreens Find RX coverage tool, you can compare plans online, over the phone, or in person, making Medicare easier than ever. Easier than picking which true crime doc to watch, figuring out that Wi-Fi password, or putting the duvet cover back on. So if you can do those things, with Find RX coverage, you can definitely Medicare. Find the plan that's right for you by visiting walgreens.com/Medicare.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Ascension temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them, and you cannot rely on them. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 44 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. A 54-year-old woman suspected of killing 4 people in Clare was arrested in Wexford County yesterday. Police initially responded to a shots fired call in Clare at a residence on South Harrison Street about 4 p.m. Wednesday. They found 2 men ages 39 and 36 had been shot and died of their injuries. Police also found the bodies of an 85-year-old man and 61-year-old woman on the property. They have not said how those 2 died. According to police, the suspect, Judy Boyer, knew or was related to each of the victims. She left the scene following the shooting and headed north to Cadillac. She was arrested without incident. Saginaw Promise took a moment to recognize achievements of students since the scholarship's inception in 2011. According to numbers provided by My School Data, graduation rates over the last 10 years have increased significantly. Arthur Hill is up from 82.5% to 90.9% Saginaw High is up from 67% to 89.29. And the Saginaw Arts and Sciences Academy is up from 85% in 2011 to 94.55 in 2021. Dropout rates have also decreased significantly by 5.55, 12.41, and 9.3% respectively. Saginaw Public School Superintendent Dr. Ramont Roberts said the dramatic effect of the scholarship and its related programs would not be possible without many of the local business and corporate partnerships.
It's important that we fund our students' futures, and without the support of the community to fund an endeavor like the Saginaw Promise, many of our students won't have the financial resources for their post-secondary education.
Since 2012, the Saginaw Promise has awarded $1,025,049 in scholarships to 590 students. Time is 11:07.
I'm attorney Jerry Reif, and I have practiced elder law, estate planning, asset and business protection planning in Michigan for over 3 decades. As a veteran, I've also helped veterans and their spouses benefit from special VA programs. Many of you have attended my monthly workshops where you have learned the rules, what solutions work, and had your questions answered, such as, can I protect my stuff from the government and long-term care costs? What is the difference between revocable and irrevocable trusts? How can I avoid probate? And do I need to? Should I give my stuff to the kids or others? Know the rules and what solutions work. Get answers to your questions.
If your planning is more than 5 years old, you may have missed some great opportunities. Call 989-790-1461 to attend attorney Jerry Rice's free workshop, How to Protect Your Stuff in 3 Easy Steps. This workshop is on Thursday, November 11th at 2 p.m. in Saginaw at the Kapopo Community Credit Union. Call 989-790-1461 today or JerryRifeLawyer.com.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. Another Michigan city is giving filters to residents as a result of high lead results in some drinking water samples. Hamtramck is a 2-square-mile city in the Detroit area with 28,000 residents, many of them immigrants from Bangladesh, Yemen, and other countries. The city says 700 filters were passed out Thursday and another 900 will be distributed next week. Mayor Karen Majewski says the water is fine, but old pipes are leaching lead into the system. The mayor says not every home is affected and people don't need to panic. Across the state, investors there have been urged to use only bottled water for cooking and drinking due to elevated lead levels. The Michigan State Police West Branch Post is holding an open house at their new headquarters Wednesday, October 27th. It runs from 10:45 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the new post, located at 2021 Fox Run in West Branch. There will be a ribbon cutting, tours, displays, and refreshments. Homelessness in Michigan is down 19% in 2020. That's according to a new report. Here's more from Brooke Allen.
Led by the Campaign to End Homelessness, the report is created through a cooperative effort among numerous government departments and agencies every year to assess the state of homelessness across. Contributing factors include the eviction moratorium, statewide stay-at-home orders, and people choosing to stay with family or friends rather than seeking professional support services. But despite the overall drop in homelessness, the report shows high levels of racial disparity in the homeless population. Black residents made up 46% of the homeless population in 2020, but only account for 14% of Michigan's total population. Black and Hispanic workers were also more likely to be unemployed during 2020, and Black and Hispanic renters had higher levels of uncertainty about their ability to pay rent. I'm Brooke Allen for the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-079. And I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for your day today with a high around 50 degrees. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies with a low around 40. Saturday, partial sunshine develops a high around 53 degrees. And then by Sunday, a slight chance for rain showers here late. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops a high around 53. By Monday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high around 51. Then Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high of 58. Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 41.
Now, It's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And welcome back to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Today we are going to focus on the Bay City school system, and we're going to do that with the man named superintendent back in July of 2017, and we say good morning to Dr. Stephen Bigelow. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. It's a pleasure to speak with you again.
And same here. I guess we have to start with, you can't avoid starting with COVID, so I guess that's where we're going to start. How have the Bay City public schools fared during this pandemic?
You know, we have been doing well, respectively. However, I find myself right now having many conversations just with our own staff members, simply because we find that all things COVID related have been stressful and trying to make sure that everybody is doing okay as we get through this. It has certainly increased the amount of work that all of us are doing on a daily basis. And it's been really frustrating because in many cases we don't have clear answers through this. We are adjusting certainly as the circumstances adjust too. We were excited about the prospect of having a relatively normal school year this year. And of course, it has not been like to have seen, but we are a mask optional district. Our students are in face-to-face instruction. We've been getting through on a daily basis fairly well. Students are thriving now that they're back in the face-to-face structure. But again, it's with an incredible workload on behalf of all of us behind the scenes to make that happen.
You are not a mandated vaccination district, is that correct?
We are not a mandated vaccination district. So in Bay City Public Schools, families have the option whether to wear a mask or not. There is an exception. We are doing rapid our district. We have been for some time for quarantine students. So in Bay City Public Schools, if the health department ends up quarantining a student due to their time and duration with somebody who was COVID positive, well, in the past, quarantine students had to sit out at home during that entire period. In Bay City Public Schools, those students who are quarantined are able to participate in in-person instruction in school. But they are required to do rapid testing, which provides, instant notification of COVID positive students who have been quarantined are attending school just simply with a negative rapid test.
So, Dr. Bigelow, let me ask, you have in-person learning right now, face-to-face in the classroom. Is it a hybrid model? Are you combining it with virtual, or is it exclusively back to school again?
It's exclusively back to school again. However, we do have a virtual program we have for a few years now that is open to anybody who wishes to partake, but that would be if we were in a COVID environment or not. So those who are opting for that traditional school face-to-face experience this year.
So let me ask you, with this COVID experience, if you look 10 years down the road at education, are we going to see more and more virtual learning in this digital world we live in?
We are absolutely going to see more virtual learning. However, what this experience has taught many of us is the importance of face-to-face instruction as well, and it's not something that can be entirely abandoned. There are a select few students who actually thrive in the virtual environment. There's other students who perhaps due to some special health needs, but for the vast majority, we are social animals as human beings, and we learn best in the company of others.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I want to come back. We'll talk about strategic planning and all that good stuff. We're talking to Dr. Stephen Bigelow, the superintendent of the Bay City School System. Time to play the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hisson Company, downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is level. Level. When you build something, you should use a level. It's an Alpha company-wide contest. You must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. It's the Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hisson Company in downtown Bay City on WSGW. And when we return, we'll hear from Terry Henney. All ahead.
Hi, this is Jessica. It's time to check out United Financial Credit Union and experience the credit union difference. From youth accounts to retirement, you with all of your financial needs. Here at United Financial Credit Union, we've been committed to our communities since 1964 and strive to provide long-term financial stability to our members and their families. Whether you need a loan or are looking for a safe place for your savings, you will always be treated as our top priority. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we will put you first.
Must meet eligibility requirements, federally insured by the NCUA.
We're where you work, where you United Financial Credit Union, serving the Valley community.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Exciting things happening this fall. I want to focus on what's important, not what's for dinner. Luckily, HelloFresh delivers everything I need, and it's 30% cheaper than grocery shopping. The quick and easy recipes are perfect for weeknights. We're all busy, but with HelloFresh, I actually have time to enjoy my meals. Go to HelloFresh.com/DanaCortez14 and use code DanaCortez14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. That's code DanaCortez14 for 14 free meals at HelloFresh.com/DanaCortez14.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSG.
Broadcasting this morning from Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm. You know, one thing that we haven't mentioned so far this morning has been the opportunity for you as a family to take pictures with a pumpkin, pictures with an animal that the child might be feeding, or just pictures of the kids having a great time over acres and acres that they're able to wander and just. And the nice thing about it, too, is it's fall weather. We're finally getting some temperatures a little bit cooler, but a lot more fall-like. So it's a great opportunity for you to get out and enjoy fall at Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm. The kids, they have a train ride, a barrel train ride that runs on the weekends. But again, let's go back to the photo opportunities all around the farm. The kids' favorite straw cartoon characters, they can have their picture taken next to them. It's just a lot of fun. Special events, rides every weekend. So come on out and take a look. If you want more information, just go to Johnson's.com or like them on Facebook. A lot more coming up as far as the events this weekend and next during the farm program.
All right, Terry, we'll look forward to your farm report coming up right after the bottom of the hour. We're talking to Dr. Stephen Bigelow. He is the superintendent of the Bay City Schools. And Dr. Bigelow, we talked about the fact that, in the future, there's probably going to be more virtual. And I know that the Bay City Schools have strategic plans in place. So let's take a look at the strategic plans and what you see as the future of the district.
Yeah, thank you for that. We are doing several things here in the schools. Facilities and operations standpoint, part of the strategic plan involves looking at our actual footprint. Are we utilizing our properties as best we could? Does the old traditional model make sense in its entirety? So we've been slowly getting rid of some of our district properties that are being underutilized. I'm actually working with the land bank in Bay County to see how we can develop some of our properties that are underutilized into a combination of residential and commercial, which will lead to hopefully more students. Part of that strategic plan involves environment. Right now, we have a very active dual enrollment in early college program. And so our goal is to get as many of our high school students into the college atmosphere as quickly as possible. So for many of our students, they're actually earning college credits at the same time as earning high school credits. That's through some of our partnerships, for example, with Delta College and SBSU. And students in those programs are not only saving their family a great deal of money because they're able to move through college more quickly. And, we think about all the majors that college students go through. And it changes majors 8 times. We think that this helps students figure out what it is that they actually want to do at an earlier age and take care of some of those college credits as well. We're focusing on gifted and talented in our elementary and secondary programs. We already have a program in place, but we are looking to make that a little bit more robust. So, it's all about changing what school looks like and how students are able to earn those credits. Let's get the college credits in quicker. Let's make a stronger effort to make sure that those all being taught. We think back about a decade ago when the push really seemed to be, well, students' education can't end at high school, but that doesn't mean it needs to be a traditional 4-year college or university. There's a dire need for skilled electricians, welders, a whole host of opportunities where students can earn a very good living. So we're putting a lot of our time and the resources into bolstering those programs as well.
And last question along those lines, capital projects, any improvements?
Capital progress, capital improvements have been incredible, Art. We actually, if you drive by Bay City Western Middle, see a new gymnasium going up. Our administration building, which is not in great shape, we are moving out of it in early November. We are actually utilizing some underutilized space in Handy Middle School, and we have all new central offices going in there. We're looking at turning Handy into the hub of our community, athletic field updates, and updates all across, including a new hybrid high school. Well, it's in its second year now, Bay City Eastern High School, but it's our alternative hybrid high school, and we have some facility upgrades happening there as well.
Sounds like you got enough on your plate to keep you busy for a while.
It's been busy, but good productive.
Stephen, is there a website people can go to get more information about the Bay City schools?
Absolutely. If they go to btschools.net, they can connect to anybody they need to right from that website.
Excellent. Well, we'll need to do this again down the road. Keep up to date on what's happening. Thanks for being with us.
It's always a pleasure. You're one of my favorite radio programs to listen to.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye now. Dr. Stephen Bigelow, he is the superintendent of the Bay City Schools. We thank him for being with us. We'll take our last break after I remind you that Focus is sponsored by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's.
Did it go okay when your insurance agent sat down with you to review the coverage checklist for your farm so you wouldn't have to worry about uncovered areas? You have reviewed your coverages lately, right? If not, maybe your agency should be the Amel Rummel Agency. At the Amel Rummel Agency, it's our job to understand the various risks you face every day on your farm, and then provide you with the right insurance policy that is based on your needs. If your current insurance agent is not offering this kind of service, it's a Rummel Agency, because we listen and then we respond to what we hear. The Emil Rummel Agency is located in Frankenmuth, Vassar, Harrow, and in Saginaw. Call us today at 800-572-0939. That's 800-572-0939. Or visit us on the web at rummelinsurance.com.
For 3 generations, Delta Door has been installing and servicing garage doors in the Great Lakes Bay Area. Now they're looking for additional installation specialists to share the traditions with an ever-increasing number of new customers. If you're good with equipment and have a clean driving record, if you're willing to work a busy week and can handle some minimum physical requirements, Delta Door would like to talk with you about a full-time opportunity as an at Delta Door, 2835 Universal Drive, Saginaw.
For the best garage door service and more, call the Delta Door Doctor, Delta Door.
Goodbye, summer. Hello, fall. Yes, it is that time of year again to think about preparing for the cold winter months ahead. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning would like to take a moment to remind homeowners to schedule a fall heating system checkup before it gets too cold. A complete heating system check is more than just a quick look. A complete system check involves the right kind of testing equipment and tools and the experience and knowledge to perform the tests. You can rely on the professionals at Reamer for a complete system clean and check. Fall is also a good time to have your sump pump checked and years old. With all the crazy rainstorms and power outages we're experiencing, a battery or water-powered backup pump is also a good idea. Call the professionals at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning today to schedule a heating system tune-up and sump pump check. Don't wait until it's too late. Winter is just around the corner. Find Reamer on their website, reamerplumbing.com, or call 792-8738.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
All right. That'll do it for today on Focus. We thank you for being with us. Time to head over to Baird and Company, where we find Steve Anderson on the line on this Friday. Steve, how are the markets responding at the end of the week?
Well, I think they're down a little bit with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down just about 9 points, putting it at 35,591 on volume of 265 million shares. NASDAQ, however, is down about 140, putting it at 15,076. And the volume there is 495 million.
And your ticket tip for the day?
One of the big mistakes that I see people have a tendency to want to make is when they are trying to decide where their investments should be now, is putting too much weight on what the historically. I'm sure everybody's heard the saying, past performance is no guarantee of future results. Individual results may vary, blah, blah, blah. However, the reasons for that is because we should be worrying about what do we think those investments are going to do in the future. And that often is dictated by various economic conditions that may be changing and different now than it was during the past. It could be a big, long list of things that would change the future performance. So when you're trying to certainly make sure that you are diversified across sectors, that you're diversified by companies, and that you are looking for, it's kind of, for the hockey folks, it's kind of like the Wayne Gretzky style of investing. People ask how come he was able to play and score the way he did, yet he never seemed to be the one that was included in some of the big collisions and various things that were going on. His response was, other people are watching where the puck is. I go to where and kind of freed up his space, does the same thing in investing, go to where the puck is going to be.
Good idea. And how do they get a hold of you for some help to find out where that puck is?
All right. You can call us right here at Baird and Company in Saginaw. The telephone number is 790-5724. In Midland, it's 839-9035. Or you can find us on the web at rwbaird.com and look for whichever branch you're looking for.
All right, Steve, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Thank you very much. I look forward to it.
Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird and Company with our ticker tip of the day. Stick around now because Farm Service 790 with